Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're taking a bit of a different route, maybe a more delicious one. We're diving straight into comfort food.
Yeah. Our mission today is to figure out what a whole online community thinks makes a perfect 10-10 burger, spaghetti, or fries. We pulled a ton of opinions from AskPH. We're trying to get past the usual marketing hype.
Exactly. We want to understand the real, sometimes messy criteria people have. And what jumps out immediately from this deep dive is that perfect for these foods. It's almost never just about, say, the quality of the beef or how fancy it is.
Right.
It's this really complex mix. You've got fast food convenience in there, local favorites, and this huge factor, nostalgia. It seems like a 10-10 often means it hits a certain emotional spot or, solves a specific craving.
That's a great point. That difference between objective best and hits the spot, I think we'll see that across all three. So let's kick things off with burgers. The great burger debate.
What makes a 10-10 burger, according to this crowd? It seemed like there was an immediate split, right? Fast food giants versus the sort of artisanal local spots.
Absolutely. When people just listed their go-to 10-10s, yeah, the big global chains definitely showed up most often. Burger King was huge.
A Whopper, specifically.
The Whopper, yes. And interestingly, the four-cheese Whopper got a lot of specific mentions. That extra richness seems key for some people. And of course, Jollibee. You saw the Yum Burger, the Champ.
Oh, yeah. The Aloha Champ, too. That one always triggers nostalgia.
For sure. And what these big players offer is, well, it's consistency, isn't it? And you can get them anywhere. They kind of set the baseline everyone compares against, even if they end up preferring something else.
That makes sense. They're the standard. But then you have that next tier, the ones you might make a special trip for. Shake Shack got mentioned.
It did, yeah.
But the real buzz seemed to be around local spots like Sweet Ecstasy. People got specific about the steamed burgers, extra cheese.
Oh, yeah. Sweet Ecstasy was definitely a recurring name. And 8 Cuts, too. Very popular. And often, like you said, people would add, you have to get the onion rings with it. It's part of the 10-10 experience, apparently.
It completes the picture.
Exactly. And what's really interesting, looking at why things got high scores, it was often about really distinct, powerful flavor profiles. Not just your basic burger.
Like what?
Well, we saw lots of love for things like truffle burgers, Burger Beast came up there, mushroom and Swiss, Hardee's got mentioned for that.
Yeah.
Or even blue cheese from Brothers Burger, or 8 Cuts again. These aren't subtle flavors.
No, they're hitting a specific craving. Makes them memorable, I guess.
Totally unforgettable, if that's what you're after. But speaking of memorable, the highest scores, sometimes they weren't even for burgers you can get anymore. Nostalgia just completely took over.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Well, there were these incredibly detailed posts reminiscing about like legendary burgers from the past. The Mandarin Hotel Burger from the early 2000s.
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
People were saying it cost 400 pesos back then, which was a lot. But they still remember it as an absolute untouchable 10-10. Same for a burger people used to get at the lobby of the Manila Pen. Just pure food memory.
Wow. But that raises a question, doesn't it? When someone gives a 10-10 to a super expensive burger they ate 20 years ago, are they rating the burger itself? Or is it the memory, the special occasion, maybe the status of it back then?
That's a really crucial point. I think you're right. That 400 peso burger wasn't just lunch. It was probably an event. High status, probably high quality for its time. It marks a memory. So that 10-10, it's kind of separate from whether it's good value today.
Right.
But then the data also give us the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Massive love for the budget burgers.
Okay, like who?
Minute Burger, Angel's Burger, even Andox Taquito Burger. People were calling these 10-10 specifically for Pantuid Guttum.
The hunger relief burger.
Exactly. The ultimate quick fix when you're starving and on a budget. They score 10-10 not for complexity, but for sheer, efficiency and value, getting the job done perfectly.
So you've got these two totally different paths to a 10-10 burger. One is this peak memory, maybe high cost, special occasion thing. The other is super budget friendly, solves immediate hunger. How can they both be perfect?
Well, I think it's because the definition of perfect changes with the context and the need, The budget burger is 10-10 for its purpose surviving hunger. The memory burger is 10-10 for its purpose delivering that peak experience or emotion.
Context is everything.
It really is. And we see this clash even with popular spots, like take Sweet Ecstasy again. Loads of people calling it 10-10. But in the same conversations, you've got others saying, so overrated or way too greasy.
Okay, polarizing then.
Totally. It shows that one person's perfect, juicy indulgence is another person's greasy mess. That line between juicy and greasy is razor thin in these comments.
Makes sense. So the 10-10 burger is complicated. It's memory, it's need, it's context. Okay, let's move on. Spaghetti. This felt simpler, almost like the field narrowed right down.
Oh, definitely. If burgers were all over the place, spaghetti felt like a two-horse race. Basically, Jollibee versus Lutoni Mama.
Right. Jolly spaghetti is just, it's the icon of fast food spaghetti here. People literally called it the standard for Pinoy style. But then its main rival wasn't another fast food chain.
No, it was homemade, Lutoni Mama, Lutoni Mises, mom's cooking, wife's cooking, that consistently came out on top, which suggests the ultimate measure isn't some commercial formula, it's just familiarity, what you grew up with.
The taste of home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that immediately brings up the big debate, that sweet Pinoy style versus, say, a more Italian style.
Yeah, that sweetness is definitely love it or hate it. Lots of comments were like, nope, can't stand the sweet stuff. They wanted savory, traditional bolognese for their 1010.
It's a real dividing line, and what's fascinating are the ingredients people mentioned as essential for that perfect sweet Pinoy style 1010. It wasn't just tomato sauce and ground meat.
Okay, yeah, unpack that. What were they adding?
Well, things like chopped hot dogs were mentioned a lot. Condensed milk came up. All-purpose cream. Even liver spread or corned beef sometimes worked into the sauce.
Wow. Condensed milk. Liver spread. Why those things? From an Italian perspective, that's unexpected.
Totally unexpected if you're thinking traditional Bolognese. But I think it makes sense for two reasons here. Texture and cultural history, maybe.
Oh.
The hot dogs add that specific chewy texture people expect. The milk, the cream, maybe the liver spread, they add richness, body, sort of umami depth, maybe.
Yeah.
It stops the sauce being watery.
Okay, creates a thicker, richer sauce.
Yeah, and maybe it speaks to using available, affordable things historically to make something feel really festive and satisfying.
Yeah.
It's just the flavor profile for comfort spaghetti for many people.
And the nostalgia here seemed even stronger than with burgers. People weren't just rating the food, they were rating the situation.
Oh, completely. We saw comments giving high scores specifically to spaghetti nagaling birthday na na Castillo pa.
Spaghetti from a birthday party, still in the styrofoam.
Yes. Or spaghetti na panit after New Year. Reheated spaghetti after New Year's Eve.
Ha! That's amazing.
It tells you so much. The emotional context, the memory attached to that specific situation. It completely overrides things like freshness or restaurant quality. That reheated holiday spaghetti. Apparently, the flavors meld in a certain way. It becomes its own unique 10-10 experience. It's pure indulgence, totally separate from fine dining.
So true. Okay, so Jollibee and Mom dominate. Were there any other commercial players that got decent mentions?
There were a few. People seemed to be looking for specific things if they weren't going for Jollibee or homemade. Pancake House got shout-outs. Popeyes, Shakey's, Big's Diner too, usually praised for things like maybe a thicker sauce or slightly more savory elements perhaps.
Gotcha. Okay, final category, fries. This seemed to boil down to two main camps as well, right? Flavored fries versus classic cut.
Pretty much. It's like you either want that flavor powder explosion or you want the classic fast food fry done perfectly. They don't really overlap much in the comments.
So for the flavor side, it's got to be potato corner, right?
Undisputed king. Yeah. Sour cream and BBQ were definitely the most mentioned flavors. Chili cheese, sweet corn popped up too. Garlic parmesan got mentioned by people who'd had it maybe outside the Philippines. Potato corner basically set the standard. 10-10 means drowned in that alikabok.
For the powder, yeah. But there's a catch, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. The comments were very clear.
Yeah.
You have to eat them immediately. That powder needs to stick. The steam can't make the fries soggy. Someone specifically mentioned the alikabok and the race against moisture.
It's a high-stakes snack.
It really is. A very short window for 10-10 perfection.
And that need for immediate consumption, that links directly to the other camp, right? The classic fast food fries from McDougal or Jollibee.
Exactly. The number one requirement, repeated over and over, bagang luto, freshly cooked. That was non-negotiable.
So if the only way these fries are 10-10 is if they're literally just out of the fryer, are we really rating the fry recipe itself? Or just how well the kitchen is running at that exact moment? Is the brand almost irrelevant if freshness is the only thing that matters?
That's a really sharp insight. And yeah, the data kind of points that way. Brand loyalty seems more about predicting if you're likely to get fresh fries. McDonald's was often praised for that initial perfect crispness when hot.
Right, that perfect first bite.
But people explicitly warned, let them get cold. They turn into soggy-ass fries or feel like eating stone. So the 10-10 is literally a 5-minute window. The recipe isn't stable.
Interesting. What about Jollibee fries?
The comments were a bit more mixed. Some people actually praised them for maybe staying softer or crispier a bit longer. suggesting maybe a different cut or oil.
Mhm.
But others complained they were soggy right from the start. So yeah, consistency is the big challenge. Timing is everything for that fast food 10-10 fry.
Makes sense. Were there any other fries that got loved, different styles?
Yeah, definitely. People appreciate variety. Army Navy's Freedom Fries got mentioned. Sick cut fries from places like S&R or Landers. People even said they asked for them twice fried sometimes.
Oh, for extra crispiness.
Exactly. Bonchon fries, Popeye's fries. And again, nostalgia popped up. Someone mentioned the Tropical Hut fries from way back when. It shows there's still love for just a good, solid, thick potato taste. Properly cooked, beyond just powder or immediate fast food freshness.
Okay, so we've covered burgers, spaghetti, fries. We've dived deep into the crowdsourced wisdom. What's the big takeaway? What really defines a 10-10 across the board? It's definitely not just one thing, is it?
Not at all. It's never just about price or just about ingredients. If you synthesize all these comments, the perfect 10-10 seems to balance like three key things, and they're present in almost all the top-rated mentions, even if they seem a bit contradictory.
Okay, what are they?
First, it's nostalgia and comfort. That's the Ludoni Mama spaghetti, right? Or those legendary long-gone burgers like the Mandarin one.
Yeah.
These are sacred memories. The feeling and context are almost more important than anything else.
Got it. Number one, nostalgia. Second, context and budget. This is where your Minute Burger, your Angel's Burger come in. They're 10-10 because they perfectly solve a specific problem. Pantuid guttum, hunger relief at the right price. They nail their specific job.
Right. Context and need. Okay.
And third, texture and execution. This is huge. It's the absolute demand for Bagong Ludo fries. It's wanting that thick, rich, not watery sauce for spaghetti. It's that contrast between a crispy bun and a juicy patty in a burger. If the texture or the execution is off, even slightly, the score plummets no matter the brand or the memory.
So it's this blend. Emotion, need, and getting the physical stuff right. Nostalgia, context, execution.
Exactly. It's where those three things intersect perfectly for that individual at that moment.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So for a final thought, let's loop back to some of those really unique comments. The person raving about reheated holiday spaghetti tasting better? Or the other one who swore that dipping cold, maybe slightly sad, McDonald's fries into a McDonald's sundae?
Oh yeah, the Sunday dip makes stress melt away. What does that tell us? What role does just pure, maybe slightly weird, guilt-free indulgence play in hitting that 10-10? Especially when it involves, breaking the rules of how you're supposed to eat something. Maybe something for you, our listeners, to chew on next time you're enjoying that perfect, maybe slightly unconventional 10-10 treat. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.